All right. So okay, so my first question, Brandon, is when's like the first time you can remember like when you were going to school where like you like transitioned over from like paper writing to like start to doing stuff like online submissions. When can you like remember that being in play?
Yeah, so that started when I actually went to high school. So that would be ninth grade when I started going to Klein High and I got my own Chromebook. Pretty much
Hmm.
everything online, even like the textbooks and stuff. I'm in college right now. I'm a freshman in college and everything is online still. We use
Sure.
D2L.
So you guys were using you guys were using that all the way back to like your first year of high school. So it's been a bit, you'd say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You think it was easier because when you look back on like doing stuff handwritten versus like doing it online, what do you think was easier? Do you think it was easier being able to write something down and then bring it into class, or do you think it's easier just to like have something with you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because when I went to school in England, right,
Mhm.
I did 3 years of school in England, and we actually did more paper stuff in England. So I didn't have my own laptop in school. All the homework was done by hand, like on paper. And I
Mhm.
would say that's easier, to be honest. I prefer doing that. Like taking a laptop to school every day isn't like it's not ideal. I think
Mhm.
and there's a bigger chance of like damaging the laptop or something. Whereas if you bring like a notebook and like a textbook, I prefer doing that, to be honest. Yeah.
What do you think was like the biggest change for you? Like, do you think like when you started doing Zoom, what was like the main difference from like your learning experience? Like, what did you like observe from that?
Yeah. Online during the pandemic, I thought that was really difficult.
Mm.
Uh, the whole class was online, the teacher was online, and sometimes we'd have to have our webcams on, and we'd have to like mute our mics and then unmute to speak. And I found that was difficult because a lot of my teachers didn't really know how to use technology,
Mm.
and so there was just like a lot of technical difficulties that like slowed down the lesson. And I think the worst bit was it's just like less interaction with your teacher. You can't really like pull her to the side and like ask her a quick question in class. Learning from home, I think, is difficult because I was one of those kids that like stayed in bed until like a minute before class started, and then once class started, I got up and I joined the meeting, and then I'd go make breakfast, and I wouldn't pay the class like my full attention. Yeah,
Do you think it made it harder for you to reach out to your teachers when you were online?
yeah, definitely. I would email my teacher, but it's not the same as like being able to go up to them after the lesson or during the lesson and ask them a question, and they can like show you like by hand like if you have a problem that you're struggling with. It's just harder to do over email. Do you know what I mean?
When it comes to technology and the way that you've learned in the classroom, would you say that it's done more good than it's done more bad for you personally? Or do you think maybe it's kind of like a mix in between where it sort of has it's got its positives and then it's got its negatives?
I think using technology like in class, I think it's a mix. I would say. I would say that for me at least, technology brings more distractions,
Mm.
but again, I have a double-edged sword because it's also very distracted to get you know caught up in something else that's like unrelated to your work, and you just get dragged out doing
Mm.
one assignment.